Welcome to our weekly program, The Inside Story of Chabad in America through the Mindel Archives. We mentioned last week, and we read the Rebbe asked Rabbi Mindel to write about the massacre that happened in Kfar Chabad in 1956. He should write up for the newspaper in Israel. And the Ikir we saw from last week that after such a massacre, the Rebbe wanted that you should start building more yeshivas and more Talmud Torahs and more chadorim. And we see that they built, and Baruch Hashem, the Frumkat, we see the population of Frum people in Eretz Yisrael grew because in Eretz Yisrael, the Ikir is after such a tragedy, you have to build Majlis. So today I want to share with you a letter that the Alter Gerer Rebbe, Avram Mordechai Alter, he was the Gerer Rebbe. He passed away in 1948. He was buried in the backyard of the yeshiva in Yerushalayim. He wrote to the Frierdiker Rebbe. They had correspondence. This was in the 40s, after the war. So first I want to read you the letter that he wrote to the Frierdiker Rebbe. This is all written in Hebrew, so I try to translate it into English. It's a short letter. He's to the revered Rav and Tzaddik, our teacher, Rav Yosef Yitzchak Schneerson. His letter I received, and understandably it is not possible to reply briefly. It is a number of years since the outbreak of the war, a war which also disrupted the observance of Yiddishkeit, that it was established in Warsaw and other cities in Poland, an Orthodox organization called Agudas Shleimei Emunei Yisrael. This Aguda was established. The purpose of this organization, he writes to the Frierdiker Rebbe, is to preserve and protect all matters of Yiddishkeit, and with great care not to deviate an iota from the ways of the Torah mitzvahs, and to have no connection with the foreign and evil elements, even in matters of a mitzvah. I found it right to become a member of this organization and to encourage my acquaintances to do so as well, so that we fulfill the message: I am a friend of all who fear you and keep your statutes. In the organization of support and development of Eretz Yisrael, there is also a branch to strengthen the settlement of the land according to the Holy Torah. And then he signs off, he writes to the Frierdiker Rebbe. I guess he wanted to, the Frierdiker Rebbe should be involved in Aguda, and of course the Frierdiker Rebbe did not agree, which I don't want to go into that. So in other words, after the war, it's always an Inyan. I mean, it's not only the Rebbe, Bichlal, that after the war you should always build moisdes, as we read last week. Now, I want to read to you another letter that Hasidim of Gur wrote to our Rebbe. This was Parsha Shoftim. Erev Shabbos Kodesh, Parsha Shoftim. They wrote, this is in the Chofs. So it's a beautiful thing that they wrote to the Rebbe about Eretz Yisrael. And then I'll tell you later what the Rebbe answered. Yerushalayim. Again, it's written in Hebrew, and this is a translation in English. It's not easy. Yerushalayim the holy city, the capital of Eretz Yisrael, in each stone a story of years and of generations. Each stone built layer upon layer of history. That's what they write to the Rebbe. Of history of tragedies and hopes, periods of greatness and periods of depression, of desolation and of upheavals. Its history is known to us from the time of 1900 BC, the time of 3,800 years. Yerushalayim is not merely a city in a certain spot in the world. Yerushalayim is a concept. Yerushalayim is a symbol to the Jewish people. Yerushalayim was always the heart and soul of its eternal existence. In our Jewish tradition, the world is seen as one big eye. Perhaps God's eye, Hashem's eye, and Yerushalayim is at its center. The Medrash describes the world as this. The world is compared to the ball of man's eye. The white part is the ocean which surrounded it. The dark part is the earth. The pupil is Yerushalayim. That's a right to the Rebbe. The face within the pupil is Yerushalayim. May it be rebuilt speedily in our days. B'meher v'yameinu. Yerushalayim is described as the center of the world, the place upon which the entire world is built, and the place towards which all eyes are focused. For the Jewish people, Yerushalayim was not just their eternal capital and the place where the Beis HaMikdash, the temple, was built, but also the city towards which our best hopes, our loftiest prayers, and our sweetest songs were directed. For 1,000 years, during the time of the first and second Beis HaMikdash, Yerushalayim was the capital of the Jewish nation. In there were centered the hopes and longings of the Jewish people. The strong bond between Yerushalayim and the people began at the time of Avram and continues until today. The love of our people to Yerushalayim is reflected in the 70 names which our people used to refer to their beloved city. Each name is sourced in our tradition, in Tanakh, in our prayer of the sacred song of our people. This is what they wrote to the Rebbe. I guess this was together it came together with a letter that they sent a copy to the Rebbe, what the Gerer Rebbe wrote to the Frierdiker Rebbe. Then they wrote also this about the unity of the Jewish people. As is the nature of the world, when one takes a bundle of many reeds, it is impossible to break it. Yet taking one reed at a time, even a young child is able to break it. It is possible for one nation to fall into the hands of another nation unless it's impossible for one nation to fall into the hands of another nation unless it first experiences a fall within its own ranks. through the divisiveness, the splintering and bickering among its own people. As this is the case with great and mighty nations and empires which fall, how much more so a small and weak nation of the Jews which experience millennia of service, trials, and tribulations. The condition for its survival in the face of its history of persecution, that of unity, being united. This is our strength. So apparently they wanted that the Rebbe should be also part of Agudah together, and that the Rebbe answered. Let me see what the Rebbe answered here. The Rebbe answered them like this. We have the answer over here. The Rebbe answered, first of all, that they should strengthen in putting on, in putting on tefillin. They should see that Yidden should put on tefillin in Eretz Yisrael. They should do in Torah mitzvahs. Yidden should check the mezuzahs. Yidden should keep in Taras HaMishpacha, and then the Kedusha, then the Hatzlacha will be a big Hatzlacha. And then the Rebbe says that the earth, if there is a negative in Torah mitzvahs, then in Eretz Yisrael, the earth, that says the earth will swallow them if there's a lack in Torah mitzvahs, something like that. I don't really understand what it says here. But this is what the Rebbe answered them, and they should do in Torah mitzvahs. So this is the answer to these people. Apparently, these people, that's what they wanted, and the Rebbe answered this. So I thought that this was written in Pasha Shoftim. So I thought I would mention this today. Today's a time where we're speaking about Eretz Yisrael. We need Shalom in Eretz Yisrael. So as we spoke last week, the more moistus and more Kedusha and more people put on film and Taras HaMishpacha, that will help the Shalom in Eretz Yisrael. And the Rebbe should help, and it should be Shalom, and we will continue our program next week, Mitzvah Hashem. Again, thank you.